It's gotta be one of the most frustrating feelings for any creator. You finally feel like you've cracked the algorithm, your content is just flying, but you look at your bank account and it's completely stagnant. So today, we're gonna dive deep and bridge that gap. We're gonna figure out why those amazing views aren't turning into actual sales. Let's get right into it. So, picture this. It all starts here. You post something, it just takes off, and you see a number like 10,000 views. Man, it feels incredible, right? The notifications are buzzing, the comments are rolling in. You're thinking, this is it. I've finally made it. But then you go check your sales dashboard and you see this: zero. A big fat nothing. And that excitement, it just evaporates. It turns to confusion and then, honestly, to frustration. How is it possible that so many people saw your work, but not a single person decided to buy? I love how the source material puts it. It's like having a money gun that doesn't actually shoot out any money. You're generating all this attention, all this buzz, but it's completely disconnected from the one thing that makes this all sustainable: your income. So here's the thing, and this is so important. Your problem isn't a traffic problem. Getting more views is not going to fix a broken system. You're actually stuck in what's called the invisible income gap. And today, we're going to make it visible. So why? Why does this gap even exist? Well, at its core, it's a huge misunderstanding of how modern social media actually works. The game has totally changed, and it really all comes down to telling the difference between two very different things: attention and trust. All right, so here's the first hard truth you've got to swallow. Views do not equal community. Not anymore. See, in the past, maybe followers meant you had a community, but today, the algorithm is just a matching engine. It pushes your content out to total strangers who watch for a few seconds and then just keep on scrolling. That's a flicker of attention. It's not a real relationship. And this confusion, it leads to some really common mistakes that I bet you'll recognize. Maybe you're direct linking, where you send all that cold viral traffic straight to an expensive offer. Or maybe you're throwing what they call constant jabs, just giving away little free tips all the time, but you never follow up with a powerful haymaker pitch for your actual paid solution. Both of these keep you stuck on the surface, on the media layer, and you never get down to the offering layer where real value is actually exchanged. Okay, this next part, this is the core idea that could literally change everything for you. Understanding the two different types of pain your audience has, well, this is the aha moment that's going to transform how you create and how you sell. So here's the breakdown. On one side, you've got attention pain. You can think of this like a vitamin. It feels good to take, but it's not urgent. This is the kind of stuff you solve with quick hacks and tips, and it gets you a ton of likes and shares. But on the other side, you have purchasing pain. This is what's called the bleeding neck problem. It's urgent, it's specific, and it has to be solved right now. That is what drives sales. So let's really nail this down. Purchasing pain is that deep, nagging problem that someone is actively, desperately trying to solve. Your viral content, the stuff that solves attention pain, that might get their eyeballs for a second. But your product needs to solve this, the bleeding neck, to get their credit card. And just think about it from their perspective, right? When someone has that bleeding neck problem, they don't want an encyclopedia of options. They don't want to do more research. They want a clear, direct, fast solution. They are looking for the easy button. And this right here is the absolute key. Your product isn't just a pile of information. It's a vehicle. You're not selling information. You are selling acceleration. You're selling a shortcut, a faster path to the outcome they want. That's what people with a real bleeding neck problem are more than willing to pay for. All right, enough theory. How do you actually use this stuff? Let's switch gears and walk through a really practical framework you can use to diagnose exactly what's going wrong in your own sales process. I want you to start thinking about your offer in a new way. It's a living bridge. On one side of the bridge is your customer, stuck, struggling with that bleeding neck problem. On the other side of the bridge is the result, the amazing outcome they desperately want. Your product, it's the bridge that gets them from here to there. So if you've got thousands of people looking at the entrance to your bridge, those are your views. But absolutely nobody is crossing it to pay you. The question is not, how do I get more people to look at my bridge? The real question, the better question, is what is the specific blocker on my bridge? So the source material suggests there are really three main types of blockers. First, you might have a comprehension problem. Are you using jargon or language that's just too complex and confusing? Second, a boredom problem. Does it take way too long for them to see the value or get a quick win? And third, a trust problem. Have you simply not built enough connection for them to feel safe taking that leap with you? Your job is to figure out which one of these is your real choke point. And all of this leads us to one final, and honestly, probably the most important shift you need to make in your mindset. To fix your bridge, you have to stop thinking like a grinder and start acting with refined judgment. The old way is that hamster wheel we all know. Just make more content, work harder, grind it out, and hope something sticks. The new way, the effective way, is all about refined judgment. It's about thinking better, not just doing more. It's about making small, precise adjustments to that one blocker on your bridge and creating a clear, organized path to success. So, as we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with this one question. Forget about making 10 new videos, forget redesigning your entire website. Based on everything we just talked about, what is the one single, precise adjustment that your bridge needs right now to help people finally cross from attention to trust and ultimately to a sale? Find that, and you'll find your answer.